what's good YouTube, and welcome to another video on the channel. And today, as you can see here, we have...
Yes, it'll be featuring Gentleman Thomas, the wonderful Volume, myself, Thunderbug, and the one person on the panel who cannot win their week one, Pierre.
What's going on, guys? Screw you, by the way.
Yeah, as you can see, this is going to be the power ranking for Attack Division of the WPF League. WPF stands for World Pokemon Federation. You know, it is the best league out there. Don't add anyone. We have four lovely people here to do the rankings. The other three not contestants, co-hosts, did the actual ranking, and I'm just here to be, you know, the extra guy. Yeah, ease.
Contestant and co-host.
Yes. So I guess let's just jump straight into number 16. So first up, we have Endless Gadgets, coach of the New Jersey Devil Plumes. Now,
all right. So Endless was last on mine. He's got Libero Cinderace, no U-turn. You can still do like this with a Baton Pass. Another thing we probably should have covered before. This year they did a bunch of weird things with, of course, the format. Things are higher priced on the top end, which meant top end's really high, so you can kind of weird drafts towards the end. So he paid, I think it was what, 21 or something like that for Zero Aura or something like that?
23, I'm pretty sure. No, was it 21? Oh, 21. Okay.
It's 21. It's 25 Cinderace, 21 Zero Aura.
Yeah.
Personally, I hate Zero Aura. I can't use it, so I have a predisposition to hate this team in the first place. And then you get into things like how the team just doesn't do anything. It's basically how far can Cinderace carry it. Answer is useless, so your only rocker is Swampert. You have Klefki, which can do spikes, but it's also, I believe, only Defogger? Oh no, wait, he's got Savali, I guess. Okay, so you got two Defoggers. You got Savali and Klefki. Cool. So your hazard game's already terrible. And then, yeah, it's basically Cinderace carrying the team hard. Zero Aura is a physical attacker. Zarude's another physical attacker. Your special attacker is...
Nothing.
Oh, there isn't one.
I mean, I guess a special Savali in every now and then.
Zero Aura.
And Calm Mind Zero Aura, yeah, which he did in week one. He didn't do his ranking any favors. He actually in his week one game. And I will say too, I don't think any of these teams were necessarily like terrible. I think this one's probably just the worst one because it's so top heavy and doesn't get supported well.
Yeah, I know Pierre and I talked about how this season we actually feel like are some of the strongest we've seen in a long time. Because typically there's always like one team that's kind of a little bit stand out, being weaker than the others. This year it was definitely like way tougher.
Yeah, I would agree with that sentiment. Like I didn't think any of the teams were actually that bad. This is the one that I put last too. I just like we said, it's like a Cinderace has to carry this team, and it's like just the rest of its pivots. So like, and I don't. The thing about the pivots too is that none of them can actually heal themselves except for Jungle Healing Zarude. So it's like what? So the game is already on a timer. So you only have you're gonna run out of time before Cinderace can actually like win the game. And if Cinderace doesn't win the game, maybe Zorora wins the game. After that, it's like nothing else is gonna win the game for you. So
yeah, it'll be tricky for him for sure to play around for everything and U-turn and stuff, get momentum.
I'd like to point out one more thing. There was a speed drop on this team from 105 to 60. Savali is not a max speed mon every week.
Oh yeah, I also thought this was like a Dexmon team kind of, you know what I mean? Like there's like
for sure.
And I mean, I hate Klefki, by the way. Like but that might just be me. Like it's not like a real steel type. It's not a real fairy type. What is it? It's just kind of there.
I think it can fit the role of steel type decently, but fairy type not really at all. But they did also get another fairy type to kind of make up for it a little bit.
Yeah, and he's missing 7 types, so I mean, doesn't really balance well either.
Yeah.
Oh, also, I do respect the no mega. I respect on the no mega. Like, I'll give him credit for that.
I mean, Libero Cinder is probably a mega kind of, right?
That's true. That's true for sure.
So I guess we shouldn't like hack on Endless too much. It's still a really good team, as we mentioned. Like, there's a good pivoting.
Last comment is he had great nicknames. Great nicknames week one.
Oh yeah, great nicknames. I actually didn't see the match, unfortunately, so I didn't know that.
They're fantastic. You should check them out.
At the end of the day, it's still Libero Cinderace. So,
exactly.
You know.
So I guess we can move on to number 15, which is going to be Alice Sabrina, coach of the... Is it Canberra Charmanders? I believe it is. So, Pierre,
right,
why don't you start with us? That was awful.
Oh, why? Is it just because he 6-0'd me, destroyed me with his Mew?
Oh wait, this is who you played. I didn't even realize that.
Yeah.
I didn't even realize.
No.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Yeah.
Man, he threw me for a loop. He didn't even bring offensive Dracovish. He brought Water Absorb Dracovish to counter rain, which was really clever on his part. But no, I think this is a solid team. I think I ranked it towards the bottom as well because there's a couple of holes. I don't think it's... Looking at the tiers, I feel like the speed is actually not that bad. But, like, how often you bring in Inteleon and Tauros to your games? Glassor isn't going to be max speed, neither is Roserade. So the speed is not really there for me.
Yeah, so basically you're saying any Mon in the base like 90, 95 tiers can really abuse being like Adamant or Modest because you don't expect Gliscor or Roserade to come max speed all the time.
I agree. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is like, it's just a Vish team, and like with a Mew on top of it. And I don't know, I think Pierre and I put this team both at 15th, which is why it ended up being 15th. And I think, like, it just doesn't seem like it's gonna, like, it will do that much besides being a Dracovish team. Like, it just feels like there's not a lot of offensive power besides like Dracovish. You're probably gonna want, in order to get power, you're probably gonna want to run offensive Mew, which limits what your Mew is gonna do. And then you have Mega T-Tar, which is like, T-Tar is a weird mon because it's generally offensive, but it doesn't have the speed to back it up most of the time. And it's not like enough of a wall breaker where it like powers through a team like Mega Mawile. So.
Yeah, and from experience, Megas with the sand not being able to run Smooth Rock for Sand Rush Fish is tough. Especially it can't pivot either, so you're wasting 2 turns typically to try to get it in.
Exactly. Thunderbug, anything you want to say about the team?
So I put this team 5th. I think Dracovish and Mega T-Tar are probably 2 of the biggest bargains in the draft tiers. Part of the reason why you saw Vish go round 2 in basically every division, is really cheap for it. Mew's really good. Roserade is just gross to deal with all those stupid fat waters that try to block you. You just have spikes and T-spikes on them. They have all web support, and then it just breaks on its own. Inteleon's weird, I agree. Mega T-Tar, always good. Does have the sand support technically. Can do things there.
To your point about Roserade, I feel like the speed control is pretty good. Like, he can stun Spore or put up webs, so his speed isn't really that much of a burden.
He can easily run offensive Roserade, especially with this web support. He can run the offensive ones. And then Weather Ball Rock is funny to kill all the fire types.
Actually, this has no weaknesses, so which is kind of cool, I guess. I don't know. I just didn't really like the pieces, so but I definitely think it's a workable. It's 100% a workable team. Like, Dracovish is a good fucking Pokemon. Oh, I should have cursed, but yeah.
No, curse all you want. We don't care that much.
Okay, sorry. All right, I curse a lot, so
Good.
it will be that.
The only request is that they run the best Dracovish set of all time. Choice Scarf or Band, Vicious Rend, Rest, Sleep Talk.
Oh my god.
So you're just hoping to always get the Vicious Rend rolls?
Don't need anything else. It's not a Pokemon. It's a move.
Yeah, no, I fully agree. Like, it's not really a Pokemon. It's just a move.
Yeah, and you don't think it really doesn't have like weaknesses. What, like Fairy and
Dragon?
Oh, Dragon. Yeah, that's
and then
it, right?
Freeze Dry.
Freeze Dry.
Man, it's relatively bulky. It's tough to kill. No, I agree.
But yeah, as we mentioned, this is definitely not a bad team. Like, there's definitely some elements to it that makes it incredibly annoying to deal with, because the defensive core, I think, is like decent with Gliscor, Vigorold, Registeel, and all that. Being able to set up the spikes so you can have an endgame sweeping Dracovish, you know? Unless you want to run Water Absorb to be mean to Pierre.
Yeah, the agility set was great. It was really good. And
I guess we can move on to number 14, who... That's me! Oh my! So yeah, I'm ranked 14 with this team. Who want to haggle on me first?
No, you go. It's your team. Tell us what you think.
Okay, I think the team is fine. I definitely think it's lackluster in a lot of places. So I never used Mega Mawile before, so I tried drafting it, and I knew, okay, I wanted a slow family member, but I didn't want Bro because I'm not that boring, so I went for King instead. You know, totally different. Yeah. Ooh. I don't know. It's a bunch of mods I really like, and then, you know, just stuff I hope would fit together. I don't know. Haggle on me, please. I don't know what to say about my own team.
No, I agree with you 100%. I think it maybe lacks a little bit cohesion. You know, the team doesn't really fit together, but a lot of fun mons like Como is fun as hell, Scalapede's fun as hell, PZ. Huge props for drafting PZ. I love just seeing it fire off moves and kill things. So it'll be fun. It'll be tricky to definitely play around, I think. But we'll see.
Yeah, I put this team at 11th actually, so I just ended up being dragged down a little bit. But like to start with the negatives, like I thought like it's kind of like bunch speed tiers. Like you have like a lot of stuff between the 100 and 112, and then like a lot of like 85, 90, and then it kind of drops. And it's like sort of fills out the bottom half. So it's a little bunch. I mean, I don't think that's the biggest of deals. But it's also like not the fastest, because your fastest one is Scalapede at 112. But Scalapede really has like a higher speed than that most of the time because it has speed boost. But outside of that, it just feels like there's not a lot of speed to go with this team. You have like a Trick Room team, but it's like for 2. It's like Slow King and Mawile going at it, which is fine, I guess. But yeah, and it feels like most of the outside of Mawile, you're gonna have to set up for this team to break. Like it's not gonna have power outside of setup, so like you have to get the swords down Skull.
Alright, I feel like Thunderous want to have a word with you. Same with PC.
Maybe I just underestimate Thunderous and PZ.
They're good.
I do definitely. Oh yeah.
PZ can kill Blissey after Nasty Plot with Hyper Beam. It's that stupid.
Can it? That's fucking wild.
Yes. That's the entire point of why everyone hyped up about PZ when it first came out. It can literally Nasty Plot up and just kill Blissey with Hyper Beam with Life Orb.
Yeah,
oh, I have to remember
it's
that.
just tough because of its speed tier. But yeah, I know it hits like a truck.
But I mean, it does get agility, so there's some matchup where you can agility life orb it or something like that.
Oh, for sure.
Dual Dance is funny as hell.
Yeah, and I do like how you have Umbreon. You could wish pass, like get Como and Mawile in for free, and they can just set up and win. So that's cool too.
No, you have good sweepers and good longevity with this team. Like your things that want to stay alive can stay alive for a long time due to wish, and like just your pivots have regeneration abilities. And like you have like these setup supers are great. Like they're like some of the best setup supers there are. So I just think the breaking might be like a harder problem than maybe it is.
And then I have a 10-point Scalapede, which I think is hella good value.
So I'm gonna be Debbie Downer though. So I put it actually 10th, but let's be real. When I first saw Thomas's team, I immediately went to schedule to see when I played him. Because Thomas has a problem that I think a lot of teams do. This is a league that has Mega Pidgeot, Mega Pinsir, and Tornadus. Flying resist is Thunderous and Mega Mawile. Just falls over to certain types, including flying types. It'll fall over to things like the Garchomp and Zygardes. Certain things it just doesn't handle well outside of like Gligar. It's going to have some really awkward matchups that you have to play around.
Yeah, with no fire and no really, let's call it offensive ground type either, you might struggle against some steel types as well. Obviously has Como, but can't do everything.
Yeah, no, so the whole flying thing is, a lot of times you don't face that many flying, you face like the Tornadus and that's it. Like Mega Pidgeot and Mega Pinsir isn't drafted that often, but of course it got they got drafted this time, you know.
That's what I mean. Normally I would agree with you, but considering the heavy flying bias that the attack went for this season, it's one of those things you kind of have to look at for the teams. Because
Staraptor got drafted too.
Staraptor was such a bargain. 8-point Staraptor? Like, I want it.
I know, me too. I was too.
It's not like you're saying, oh, this team's weak to Darmanitan. Well, who drafted Darmanitan? Nobody? Okay, well, that doesn't matter. But there's so many birds flying around that's going to be a real problem for, I think, a lot of teams. And this is really the first one I think we saw that really kind of reflects that.
You know, when I face the Libero Cinderace, if I do, I can't remember if I do. That's gonna be an issue.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, as I mentioned, I like the team. I definitely also recognize that it's not very good. Also, by the way, to Volume saying I only have 2 Trick Room users in Slow King Mega Mawile. I used Trick Room Mega Gallade last season, so.
Well, yeah, you could run.
I mean, it's more flexible than
Nature PZ.
Exactly.
How slow does PZ get with minus speed nature? I bet he gets lower than like 65, maybe.
Probably, yeah. I would imagine.
I mean, it's
lower than basic,
for sure.
But no, I just want to say, like, you can be creative with Trick Room. But honestly, I'm not that much of a Trick Room player. I just wanted to try it for a while. So.
fair enough.
So I guess we can
Also
go to the next. Oh, sorry.
Just to touch on it, I think you're also going to find out too this season why everyone does Slowbro instead of Slowking.
I mean, yeah, I know Slowbro is better. Like, I chose to pick Slowking because I didn't want to do Bro. I thought it was too boring and too straightforward. Like, I had the opportunity. Bro was still on the ball when it was my turn.
Yep.
I just
And
chose
I will
not
thank
to.
you for that, because now I have Bros.
And next up, we have my week 1 opponent, 7 Wybot at 13, coach of the Alberta Chumps. So they have a Landers Eye team. Voldoom, why don't you start us up with this one?
Well, I was pretty high on this team in my rankings. I put it 5th. I kind of like low, like, it's a 7-man squad. Like, you don't have that many Pokemon to work with. But I think it's super powerful, and I think Lando Eye and Weavile is like one of the best offensive duos you can get. And like you also have an Infernape on top of that, which can be flexible. You have a nice, the team is like sort of half Trick Room, half not Trick Room. So you can like work with that, and it doesn't have to be Trick Room either. Like Slowking, G-King, and Melmetal work well together. You can always run Trick Room, Bulu, and Mega Blastoise isn't the fastest itself. Let's see. I think this team is, I like the I like the offense a lot of it, and like I think Bulu and G-King Melmetal is gonna work really well together. And it has a lot of speed and also a lot of power, which I think will work fantastically for this team.
I actually ranked it pretty low. I ranked it similar to Gadgets because it's a similar build, like you said, 7-mon team. Like I know what Greedent does and Pikachu's, utility-wise, but you're probably never going to bring them maybe once a season. I freaking hate Bulu. I think it's so terrible as a mon, but it actually works well like with terrain because then you can protect Infernape and Melmetal and G-King from Earth moves, which is really
good. Also 10 points, so
yeah,
very good value for sure.
Anything you want to say, Thunderbug?
I put it in mid tier. It is able to output damage, I think, better than probably any team in the league, just by the sheer power it has. That being said, it has no way to exacerbate any of the damage it does. The Stealth Rockers are Infernape and Landorus. So you have Stealth Rocker, Infernape. The removal is Blastoise and
Well, he brought
Landorus.
Stealth Rock Landorus against me.
Okay, so he's got, again, Stealth Rocker, Infernape. And his removal is Blastoise and Landorus. Oh, his removal is Blastoise.
Yeah,
So,
like
if it runs into hazards, it's going to be very sad. It can't really set hazards, so it can't make the spikes, which makes the damage of things like Ape and Lando just even more impossible to deal with. Yeah. If it runs into something it actually can't kill, it just loses on the spot. If it can't kill something, it just falls apart immediately.
That kind of has to murder things.
And when it can't do that, it doesn't know what to do. It doesn't switch into anything really. It just falls apart if it doesn't kill what's in front of it.
Yeah, there's probably going to be a decent amount of fast-paced games coming from Stone Wybot this time.
I was just gonna say that. How did he play week 1? I don't think he worried about defog, right? He just set rocks and tried to do more damage to his opponents than they did to him.
He has no sustain. It's basically Slowking as a sustain.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking.
He just has to
pivot and get in one of his hitters like Mel or Weavile or Landorus and do work.
Slowking Galar can't even pivot. Doesn't have teleport.
No. I think I underestimated how hard it is for this team to like get its offensive threats in. It's like they're in and they die. So...
Yeah.
Also, they did run the Rabbit Spin on Blastoise. Okay. They did worry a little bit. Yeah.
Either
so
they
again,
Boots Weavile, or they have to run Spin Blastoise every week.
Yeah. So yeah, it's a really good offensive team, but also if you don't have the momentum, it's very difficult to get back. You don't have the defensive backbone to sit there a little bit.
You turn Landorus, you turn Infernape. Let's go.
So I guess next up in 12th place we have Pierre, coach of the All Blacks, which I don't believe this team is all black. So what the hell?
It's not. No, I bailed. I lost Empoleon for the 2nd season in a row, dude. And I couldn't make it work. I needed Empoleon. I didn't want to go without a steel type, so I just went back to what I know. Went back to rain. I figured I've actually never tried Coco in the rain, so I just this year's the year. Let's do it. I don't think this team's perfect. I'm actually, spoiler alert, I'm gonna make a couple FAs here tonight, but because like Necrozma, like you're really not gonna moonlight in the rain. That's not a good idea. And then I just feel like I have so many other things that can win, like Coco, Mega Swampert, Kingdra, Terrakion, Beartick. Like I'm not going to be able to utilize Necrozma to its full offensive potential. I'm probably going to bring Stealth Rocks every week, so I'm going to make a move there. It's not the best Rain team I've ever put together, hence the 12th position, which I think is pretty appropriate. But I think it's solid. It's well-rounded. I got good speed tiers. Maybe U-turn sucks having Toad over Pelipper not being able to pivot and get Swampert in for free, but it should be fun. I'll have fun with it. What do you guys think?
Yeah.
I kind of liked it. I don't know. Like, it wasn't that I had a 9th, so it wasn't like one of my favorite teams, but I thought it was a pretty solid Rain team. Like, or at least like without thinking, I didn't realize Moonlight and the Rain, the interaction. I didn't put that together, but it feels like surprisingly balanced, and you don't actually need the Rain to like still have good Pokemon on this team. Like Terrakion, Scizor, and Coco are all like great. So you don't need.
Yeah, I didn't even bring Rain week 1. I can definitely bring 6 Mons out of Rain. So for sure.
And then to the sort of flying point that T-Bug made earlier, like the ghost resists across the board are not high. Like your ghost resist right now is unpleasant. So there's like I have Gengar for example. There's like Dragapult running around. I think someone drafted Blastoise as well. Like there's ghost types running around. There's probably Spectre. I think.
It's Frost last time. It's Frost last time.
Yeah, that's one of the changes I'm going to make, is try to be able to handle Ghost a little bit better. Having the priority with the Sidge is nice, and being able to roost in the rain.
No, I was gonna make the changes
anyway. I was gonna make the changes anyway. I already knew. Rightly or wrongly, I was talking to one of my other buddies about this. I'm more worried about the Ghost types in this league, like the ones you mentioned over. Like he said that my team's weak to Psychic because I don't have a Dark type, like the Mews, the Reunicluses, Alakazams, and stuff. And I'm like, it doesn't really bother me. The Ghost types are gonna be scary.
Should have bother you week 1, huh?
Them anyways.
Yeah, true.
Yeah,
But,
Thunderbug,
no,
did you have
right.
any things you wanted to say about the team?
Pierre kind of stole my main point that Necrozma is terrible in rain teams because it basically becomes a really expensive rocker for no reason.
Exactly. I'm just gonna lead it and click rocks every week, and that's definitely not what it does. So I'm probably gonna drop it.
You nerf what it does best, and then I think Scissor's a little overpressure to rely on certain things. I do like the idea of Decidueye Rain though, because start shackle trapping and then just deleting all the grass types with Hurricane and Brave Bird is funny. Yeah, and then of course Coco Rain Coco Rain is just good because making Coco stronger because Coco doesn't have a very special attack. Whether you can Fire Thunder, that doesn't really matter. And then Terrakion's just a monster if you just ignore it.
Yeah, exactly. I lead Terrakion, try to poke holes and let Rain, clean up. And the thing with the Thunder that people don't think about is the Paras is great. I love being able to click Thunder and get Paras.
Politoad's pretty bad though. I hate Politoad.
Politoad's it's a way better mon. I feel like when I bring Pelipper, it's just clicking U-turn defog. That's all it is, and sets the rain. Politoad can do so much more, but you're right. Just as far as getting your other rain mons into the game, it's so much tougher. It's definitely worth the 4 points.
The only thing Politoad has over Pelipper is Parashon.
Yeah, you can Perish Trap. I mean,
doesn't it also have the fact that it can run an item? Because I feel like Pelipper has to run boots every week.
Pelipper can run Scarf, it can run Specs, can run...
Yeah, I've run Scarf.
Yeah.
Like a Specs Pelipper in the rain with Weather Ball, that hurts.
It does, for
weirdly
sure. It hurts.
Strong, because Hurricane and Weather Ball are weirdly strong.
Yeah, for sure. But no, you can run I did a terrible job of it. You can run Belly Drum, Toad. I mean, there's things you can do with Toad, and it's so bulky. I think it's weirdly bulkier than Pelipper in a lot of ways. I don't know why, but just seems to be.
It's not a Pelipper and has better stats. It has better numbers, but Pelipper's got the all on the roof.
And I mean, you could run I've run Red Card on it and stuff, or Eject Button, whatever the item is that boots you out and get your Rain Sweeper in for free. So, and then people sleep on. Yeah, it does. And then people sleep on Kingdra too. I feel like Kingdra is a great mon. Back to your point about Out of the Rain, you can run Focus Energy or Dragon Dance. You can be physical or special. I think people just always expect you to bring Spec, Surf, but it can do so much more than that. And with Hurricane, back to your flying type points from earlier, it blows away the grass types that are annoying for my team. So I think it's really good value at 10 points for sure.
I guess we can hop on to
overall solid team. Yep, I'm happy with it.
So we can hop on to number 11, which is Plas, coach of the Calm Capybaras, I believe the team was called. Which, you know, that logo, if that doesn't emphasize the name, I don't know what does.
I love it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going first on this one.
Yeah, you go first.
Go for it.
Okay, so this is the team I wanted to put 15th because I don't like it in any way after the top 3. However, there's one change that could fix all the problems of this team, and I'll get into that in a minute. So, of course, Polt is extremely expensive. Tornadus, which was kind of overpriced, I think, for the league. I think most people kind of felt that Torn and Chomp were. I think Cart is really scary with Polt. Those 3 are really good. Everything else just doesn't work together. Let's see here. Let me go through my points. You're relying on Clefairy not to lose to Draco Meteor because you picked up a second steal with Kartana, which is always a good strategy. The problem is your second steal is also terrible defensively.
You got a third one, dude. Don't worry about it.
Playing in the back, man.
No. We'll get the claim. We'll get to that. We will get to that. So that happens. If it doesn't outspeed Crocodile, you just don't run speed on it against this team. So let's say you have a Como, you just run max HP, max attack, adamant, and you kill everything. Because if it's below Crocodile in speed, it just does not care. Because the speed tiers go from Crocodile to Clang.
Yeah.
So, and then you have, let's see. Oh, and then let's see. Your Fairy Resist are Kartana, Clang. So, how do you fix all of these? It's simple. You take Clang, you take Throw, and I think was the third one I threw on there. Was it Cogs? Let's see. You take a combination of Regigigas, which does nothing, Throw, and Clang. You take all 3 of those. You throw them out the window. You pick up Toxtricity, and a random 1-pointer. And you tell me that does not solve every problem this team has. Destroy all the fairies. You just have another massively powerful attacker with momentum to get in Polt, Cart, and Tornadus.
Yeah, that helps.
And that's
for
my
sure.
rant for the story.
I mean, you still kind of don't swap into a fairy type. Like with Toxtricity.
As well, but that's you
An
can't.
offensive
You're not
one.
gonna be able to fix everything without throwing the entire team out the window.
I mean,
You're
yeah,
never gonna bring
fair
Clang.
enough.
You're never gonna bring Throw because you're a horrible fairy weakness. Cabalion might as well not exist because again, your fairy weakness is so bad you can't really bring it, and then it doesn't do anything Kartana doesn't do already.
Yeah, exactly.
You
I'm
need to
just gonna
find
stay
something
safe and
else
forward.
to do with so Toxtricity would fix those, and then again, because it allows you to run things like the Cart, it's just an amazing breaker, and you cover Toxtricity super well, and it can help Polt and everyone else so much on this team. It would fit so well here, and it would just make this team insane, and I think it would also make it a top 5 team in the league.
All right, so anyone want volume? You want to counter Thunderbug a little bit?
I mean, I was sort of in the same. So I didn't rate this team very highly either, so I'll just like quickly echo. Like I rated him 10th. But like fast offense is really scary. I actually really love Crocodile and Mega Bro as like a duo. So I think they like complement pretty well, aside from like the grass weakness. I think if you lose momentum with this team, you're not, it's duped. Like what? Like I don't know. Like if you lose momentum versus this team, I mean, because like they'll be able to keep what they want in most of the time, and Polt and Tornadus are just super good. So.
Look, Toxtricity has Volt Switch. Wow, there's another problem solved right there.
Yeah, and there's also no fairy resist on this. Like the fairy resists are terrible, but T-Bug mentioned that already. So.
Also, the team, I'm like looking, so like on the chart right here, it's kind of ground weak as well because you're relying on Torn, which tell me a ground type that doesn't get a rock move. And Kartana is like your grass type, which is neutral to ground. So like a really good earthquake spammer, like Mamoswine, for instance, it's gonna run you as well. Like I know you outspeed a lot of it with a lot of your offensive mons. So maybe Mamoswine won't have the biggest field day, but it's still gonna do a lot of damage. And I know it doesn't make a slow bro, but I think Mamo has the power to potentially break through.
Conveniently, Mamoswine is undrafted.
Oh, okay. So, I mean, I'm just mentioning him on. I'm like,
yeah, I know, but I try to defeat your point like that. But it's just like lucky for him. So.
Yeah. And if you get Toxtricity, you still have 1 point left over. So pick up a 1 point meme mon if you want. Pick up a 1 point bug. There you go. Ground resist. Pick up what is a Lumise 1 point? Pick up a Lumise.
I want to hear Pierre because Pierre put this team in 5th, I believe. So. He should be the highest.
What?
Pierre put this team 5th. He put this team at 5th place.
I mean, like whoever said it first, Polt and Torn T and Kartana are just incredible.
Yeah.
I love the Mega Bro too. Just brings you don't even have to Mega it. Just bring it in, regen, teleport into whatever mon you want. Torn T, same regenerator. They can pivot into whatever hard hitter they want, pull Kartana, and just do damage. I mean, I think it's a solid team. I agree with your guys' points about the fair resist and all that stuff, and the triple steals, and the bottom of the team kind of fell off a cliff after pick 5. But I think the top 5 are
steal,
great.
but no steal.
Yeah.
None of them do what a steal. None of them do what you want a steal to do.
Yep.
Yeah, for sure. He should make some FAs for sure, 100%.
I still think, please listen to my trade. I know I went hard on it, but please consider my trade. Please get Toxtricity. This team would be so good with it. And I say that as someone who has to play you. Please get Toxtricity to make your team better.
Oh, wait. I also have to play plus.
Arcanine's incredible on this team, I think, too.
Yeah. No, I can see
I
that.
can't believe Arcanine's undrafted.
Yeah, I know. I thought about picking it up.
But yeah, so class, it's not a bad team. Make a few adjustments and it can become an incredible team all of a sudden. So yeah. And we're moving on to 10th, which is going to be Amarillo. I'm going to say Thunderbug, you go last on this one. Coach, they are the coach of the Dallas Tyrannostats. So Pierre, why don't you start us off with this one?
All right. I think I had this team decently high too, just because of the Dragon Steel Fairy Core. Really good. I like the speed tiers.
Real quickly cut you off. According to this, you put it at 13th.
Did I? Oh, man. We did this too long ago, man.
Yeah, our minds have changed.
I know, right? I know things have changed, but 13th. Why did I put it so low? I don't know. Anyways, I mean, I think it's solid. He's got like 10 mons that can all come every week. I think. I don't look at his team and see any mons that I'm not even prepping for. He's got good balance, good hazard. Actually, no. Just Nidoqueen, really.
I mean, it's an incredibly slow team because while you have Starmie at 115, you have Sada at 100, but like the Linoon, no, that's not coming. Rotom, you can run max speed Rotom, but there's often you want to be like a kind of bulky with screens maybe. So like the speed kind of teeters up a little bit. There's not that many mons that are gonna do a whole lot when it comes to being a fast sweeper in any sense. You have to like set up with Sada in that regard, basically.
He does have webs though.
I mean, yeah.
But it's like Araquanid every week. I think I put this in 12th. So technically, I'm slightly higher than Pierre, but like Thomas said, it's really slow. It's like, all right. I guess the speed tiers are like kind of decent outside of not really having a really fast mons, but you do have webs. And it really is just a Zard X team. Like, that's what it feels to me. It's like, Zard X, good luck. That's our one con here. And like, there's like, Nidoqueen can break. Ploppable can do other things. Outside of that, it's not that great. But I do love Carbonite Nidoqueen as like a duo. It's a defensive duo. I think that's pretty good. So.
Now, you want to take it off, Thunderbug?
Yeah, so they put it 12th and 13th, and it's ranked 10, which means I must have ranked it really high. And I put this team first. I really don't know why though. The only rockers being Queen and Clef are scary. Like, it's still a really good team, don't get me wrong. I don't know why I put it first. I'd still put it like 5 or 6. I love Ice Cream, and Auroraville Ice Cream makes the setup on this team, whether it's Lax, Zard, Goofy Corv sets, Goofy Clef sets, easy to do, and it can just run over people with that. Queen, Corv, and Clef is a really good defensive trio. And I love Starmie paired with Charizard for Rapid Spin. I think it supports Zard pretty well, even though it's a bit slow in general. And Zard's just a really annoying thing to prep for if you can't get the 50% rock strip on it. And yes, run Araquanid every week because Araquanid is really good and deserves to be run every week. I'm a big Araquanid believer.
I will say though, something I just noticed, you're kind of forced to run Defog Corviknight quite often because your other Defoggers
Spin Starmie's pretty good.
Spin Starmie, yeah.
Yeah, I
really
get that
good.
it's Spin Starmie, but it's just then you're locking Starmie into Spin every week.
Does he mind running Defog Corviknight every week though? I don't think so.
Yeah.
I mean, then you're taking up 2 move slots with Roost and Defog, then it can't really be set up.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think anyone's going to complain if they have to run Rouge, Defog, Corv, Rocks, Nidoqueen, some Goofy Clef set, and DD Zardex every week. That sounds like a winning combination to me.
I mean, fair, that sounds winning combination, but it sounds boring doing the same every week.
I just really wish there was a second threat on this team that wasn't Zardex. Like, I think Zardex is a monster. Are so annoying to prep for. Even with like, oh, just reduce it with rocks. But you can also roost that off. So.
What about Lax? Lax is a threat.
Lax is a massive threat.
Lax is there, I guess. Belly Drum Lax is there.
Yeah, even not just Curse Lax. I mean, he's a menace. If you don't bring a fighting type to deal with it, it can screw you. And Body Slam Paras too.
And then Clef just ran this up and Calm Mind on someone. It's like, oh, I just lost because it's Calm Mind Clef. Oh well.
Yeah. No, that's
right.
I like it.
But I'm gonna speed us up a little bit here. So we're gonna go to 9th, Gradual Coach of the Sunset Sorux. This is a Rillaboom team with a Victini. Who wants to go off? I want to hear Thunderbug.
You want me to go? Okay, hang on. Let me find my notes. Then,
by the way, to anyone watching at this point, Thunderbug has like a 4-page note.
I have a 4-page notes, and one of them is about one team in particular that we'll get to later.
We have a dissertation coming up. Please stay tuned.
What's the name of his team?
I'll say some quick points while he's finding it. It's like it's got a bunch of speed tiers. It drops from 80 to 50, and it's like your 80 mon is like Mandibuzz. So yeah. And I mean like Victini Boom is cool, I guess. Victini Boom Keldeo, and then like the Aggron Mandibuzz can work well together. But the only mon above 110 is Zebstrika for some reason. Like that seems not the ideal situation. So I think I believe I put this team. This is Gradual, right? I put this team at 14th, so this is the 3rd worst team for me. I don't know. I'm not that high on Boom, and I feel like, I mean, Victini can carry a team, but like, I don't know. I feel like Keldeo and Boom aren't like they're good mons, but they're not like superstars. So.
I don't know. I feel like Rillaboom is a really good mon. Like
I know.
Like you have to, of course, build a little bit around it. Make sure you can take care of the flying types that Rillaboom really does struggle with. Which picking up Zebstrika as your electro type, not the best maybe, but Rillaboom is a really good mon in my opinion.
I think Donphan and Mandibuzz can take care of the flying types, right?
Donphan takes care of physical flying types. It clicks Hurricane, Donphan falls over.
True.
Aggron takes care of the flying types. Let's go.
Yeah.
I wasn't as much talking about like defensive, like how you are gonna go against flying type. I was more talking how you're gonna kill the flying type. Like you can put a band on a V-Create Victini, but it's like, you know, that's not directed specifically against
Aggron. I don't know.
Yeah, no, that's what I meant. Like, I feel like you're gonna have trouble killing a flying type.
Aggron gets a lot of weird things.
Yeah,
I feel like it does.
I do like that.
I don't know.
Aggron gets head smash, so it doesn't need rock slide.
I might be just hallucinating. I would love for it to have rock slide because I'm using it.
Aggron gets rock slide.
It gets Stone Edge if it's Mega Aggron return.
I said Boomer. I think Boomer gets rock slide.
No, Rillaboom doesn't get any rock moves.
Yeah, Rillaboom doesn't get rock at all. It doesn't get any rock moves.
The entire negative about Rillaboom is it can't kill flying types.
Yeah.
Okay. My bad.
Okay, Thunderbug, did you find your notes?
Terrain, though.
I found my notes. I'd like to point out on the speed point earlier, the speed tiers are actually worse than you made it sound because if you don't care about Grassy Glide Rillaboom, if you don't care about us being Rillaboom outside Grassy Glide, you can just ignore that for its speed tier.
Oh, that's
the speed tiers in theory could be 100 to 50. Yeah. The speed tiers could really be 100 for Victini and to 50 with Aggron, Licky Licky, and Donphan.
Honestly, like, are any of the bottom speeds running speed? So.
You're looking at 2 speeds on the whole team, Victini and Keldeo. That's it. That's all you're looking at for speed.
Yeah.
I like Zebstrika. It's not very good. And Comfy, though, will cheese. Someone will lose the Comfy just because Comfy does that to someone every year.
Exactly.
One good point is he can't set up on this team. He's got 6 months with Taunt.
That's true, fun. And he also has a bunch of... He has 4 really good knockoffers that can come a lot, so be prepared to lose your item, definitely.
It's a good team. It's kind of where it is. It's kind of like it's one of the. It's definitely the mid-tier teams. I think it has things that can go well. I'm a big Keldeo fan. I love Aggron, so I like this team because it's got mons I really like. But it'll be interesting to see how it goes. I think it's very much a mid-tier team.
Yep.
And next up in 8th, we have On Latios, which actually drafted Latios, which, you know, not a lot of people draft their named Mon, so that's kind of interesting. They're coach of the Carcoal Riders, I think the name is called. The team is called. Volume, why don't you start us off with this one?
Sure. I think this team is pretty good. I put it at 8th. This is about where I expected it to be, right? It's 8th exactly, or is it 7th? Sorry.
It is 8th.
Yeah, so it's exactly where I put it. So I agree with this placement. I mean, it's a Spectre team. It's just a Spectre team with like a good defense. Like Zap Buzzwole, that's insane. Like that's super good. And yeah, Steelix is a pretty underrated steel type generally. Like it serves as it's a valuable pick. Super good. I guess Mega Torpedo is kind of like it's kind of there, I guess. Like it can win games, but I don't know. I don't think maybe I'm low on Torpedo, but I don't think it's like that high. And then Latios is just a great offensive mon. So I think like it's gonna be able to do some things, but like I don't know. I just feel like it's sort of like it's the middle of the pack for me. Like it definitely has working pieces that definitely work well. I just don't know if it's gonna like power through because like outside of like Spectre is your power, Latios is power, I guess Torpedo is power, but like none of these things are really breakers. So it's kind of hard.
The Victory Bell is, but I agree with you. I understand what sets Sun. Am I missing what sets Sun on this team? Does P2 get it or something?
I don't know.
I think P2 does. I think Diancie does.
I'm pretty sure Zapdos does as well.
On the side note, why would you want to set Sun?
I think Zapdos gets like both Rain Dance and Sunny Day, I think. Maybe. I'm not 100% sure, but I think.
Wow.
Please do not run Sun on this team.
Well, that was going to be my only knock was like, I don't know why Victory Bell's there. I like the rest of the team. Even Carcoal, I can understand drafting it, but like Victory Bell just is like out of place there on that team. I think to your point, he needs another physical breaker.
I think he just wanted the grounded poison and he needed it to be cheap because he spent all his points, so he kind of just panicked.
But
I think he
Victory
could probably
Bell's like
drop
6 points or something though, isn't it?
Like, yeah, can't you get Garbodor for that amount? I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
It's 6.
That's expensive. Yeah, it's. I mean, in Sun,
it's actually 4 points. It's a budget. It is a 4-point mon.
No, it's not. Is it 4?
It's 4 points. It is 4 points.
4.2 was really weird this time around. There's a lot of broken stuff in 4 points.
I don't even know. I think the tiering was super weird, but you know, whatever.
I think it was fine, other than just there's some stuff that's just weirdly low. Anyways,
Yeah,
the actual team. Spectre is very stupid. There is games it will win even with a bad matchup just because of the weird nonsense it can pull out of its ass.
Yeah.
And then of course Buzzwole is really good. Zapdos is just annoying to deal with, and then Latios is one of the hardest ones to switch into in the format.
Yeah, because they had to give Latios every move in the goddamn book for some reason.
I do feel it's a little over-reliant on Porygon 2 to do all the pivoting though.
That's true.
I mean,
Zapdos can pivot.
Yeah, I was going to Zapdos.
Also, if you want to do a ghost type, it kind of also just needs to have P2 do everything for that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I see it.
Sharpedo is not a ghost switch.
I was about to say, I believe someone in this call has a Gengar, so that Gengar is gonna have fun.
I think I played him too, so.
I think even Scarf Gengar might straight up 2-hit KO Sharpedo after rocks. I could be completely wrong about that though.
Like you mean with Shadow Ball?
Yeah.
Yeah, week 4, I'm coming for you, Orin. I am coming for you.
But yeah, no, this again is a team that just has a lot of really good pieces, but the pieces doesn't necessarily fit 100% together. But it's still a decent team. Like, it's still a good team.
Yeah,
and
I agree.
Carcoal and Diancie being rockers is kind of odd too, because they both are kind of the same thing. It's kind of weird.
Yeah, like an emergency hazard set up.
Mascot.
Carcoal's the meme pick, but Carcoal's good. But Diancie's good too, but I just don't know if you need both.
Yeah.
You could maybe take like Diancie, Victory Bell, or Togi, put them together and make a better fairy, maybe? It's really the only complaint I have on the team.
Yeah. Are there any like good fairies left, maybe? I don't know.
Did someone pick a Aromatisse?
Yeah, we saw Aromatisse earlier.
Yeah, Aromatisse is on.
He's not going to get enough for a Lele, though. He's going to get enough for Lele.
Yeah, fair enough.
I know, I'm pretty sure Sylveon is still on the board, actually, if I remember correctly.
Oh, really? Yeah, Sylveon is still on the board.
So, you know, if you can scrape it together. And I guess we can move on to number 7, which is going to be Volume, coach of the Arizona Dactyls. Is that correct? Dactyls?
Yeah, that's correct. It's short for Arizona. It's like for the Arizona Diamondbacks. Arizona D-backs,
okay.
Arizona Dactyls, Arizona Aerodactyls.
Okay, so Volume, you want to say a little bit about your team first?
Sure. First off, I'm 7th. Lucky number 7. I'll take it. Just like medium expectations. You know, we'll take it. I'm like not the highest on my own team, but because my shooters are like slightly bunched. Ground types, I kind of ignore those things that and it feels to me like I have a Mega Chomp team and I have a Zamazenta, and that is what my team is. And I guess Gengar's there too. So yeah, that's basically what I have to say about my team. I don't know. I like my pivots. I like Rotom and Incineroar. Togekiss is Coolmon. I like that I have a sand element. So
I like that you have a Vigoroth.
the Vigoroth is my ghost type check.
So my question is, Pierre, do you remember the conversation we had a couple days ago? Did you ever figure out level limits in this league?
It's allowed. No. If he wants to run the sturdy shenanigans, a level.
Run
limit.
it.
I asked about this. I was like, can I use Rattata? And then I was like, do I want
I
to
saw the team I
run
have here, and I
instead?
was like, I don't know. All right, so that's a thing.
Yeah.
However, there's one problem with that. This team is incredibly weak to spikes, and it doesn't have enough sustain, I feel like, to overcome that. Also,
Yeah.
you just lose the Zygarde immediately.
Yeah, well. Do I face Zygarde?
Nope,
What's
I
that?
don't think you do, but...
Was Zygarde
I
picked
think I
up?
do. Noir has Zygarde, and I think I faced Noir week 8, so I have some time to work that out.
I mean, by that time you might already have qualified for have the playoffs
Yeah,
and
exactly.
checks.
Just,
Who cares?
figure out.
But I do feel like it's general spikes and long games. It's going to be really painful for this team. It's basically then just, okay, Slowbro, save me.
That is
I mean,
why we
Slowbro-
have Wish Togekiss coming in for the clutch. Not.
Yeah, no, I mean it's a Summer Center. I've come to experience that I actually really dislike fighting Summer Center just because the mon is like annoyingly bulky while also doing good damage. I fucking hate it.
Yeah, it's tough. I like this team.
Yeah. I'll take it.
Talk a little bit. What would you like about it?
Yeah.
Just everything, man. Just great. Just all around. Like you guys said, this Zamazenta is tough to deal with, and then he's got a Mega Chomp there too. And then, I mean, you got Flinchy Bird, so 3 months right away that I look at this team like, fuck, I gotta prep for these 3 months. God damn it. And
Yeah,
then
the thing-
Slowbro, great.
The thing about Turkish, there's always that if you don't have a win con, you have a win con with Air/Turkish.
Yeah, exactly. And then he's got Gengar too.
Air/Togekiss, you run Thunderwave Air/Togekiss and really make your opponent hate you.
Yep.
I want
Facts.
to see you run a week of T-Wave Slowbro, T-Wave Togekiss, T-Wave Rotom, and I think Gengar might get it too. I want you to
think
run
so,
as
yeah.
much T-Wave as possible one week just to make someone really hate you.
I might do it. I might do it. It'd be fun for me.
You
and not, for
know-
not for anyone else.
You know what? You need to find a Glareon so you can also just completely against ground types as well. Who cares? Just go out there.
I think it was season 6. I ran a week once where I had all 6 months at T-Wave.
Oh my god.
That's amazing.
I mean, it'd be nice for like T-Way so Chomp doesn't have to scale shot, And,
True,
I
that's
mean,
also a
there's
way
reason to
to
do
do
it.
But yeah,
On
the
the
team
item, too. Makes Garchomp even harder to deal with.
exactly like that Garchomp is gonna kill stuff,
Yeah.
just mollywop.
Like more what I did
Almost
week
entire
1
team.
and not mega it for no reason, and I just kill him for no reason because I forgot to mega.
That was lit.
But
I like the part where this team goes up against Thomas's team and just wins with Garchomp immediately.
Hey, don't say anything. I played Volume. We literally play next week.
we play next week. I play everyone in this call, by the way. Everyone coming at me.
That's amazing.
But I want to make one final point. I had no idea what Zamazenta did before the drafting it. I drafted it and I was like, this is supposed to be a good mon. I don't actually know what it does, but 128 speed is super nice, and I feel like this thing can just clean every game. It's pretty. It's just what's gonna outspeed it? Not much, and it can do other things. So
Switches into literally everything. It's the best knockoff resist in the game.
Yeah,
Mhm.
probably.
I get knocked off.
See, you're saying the
Defense
speed.
for no reason.
You're saying the speed is a good thing about sometimes. I think it's the bulk. It's so annoying to kill.
How does it have 145 special defense?
No one knows.
It's the shield one. It has to be
messed up.
defensive.
Then it's the defense boost that just makes it stupidly impossible to kill on the physical side.
Yep, Game Freak messed up. It's the only thing I can think of.
Well, I mean, did Game Freak mess up, or do we mess up by allowing Zamazenta?
Both, maybe?
I mean, I guess that's a fair... That's a fair argument.
That part is
Did
we
we
talk
mess
about
up?
this, and it's still hilariously not even close to the other version.
Yeah, no, Zacian is just, out there. Alright, so I guess we can jump to 6, which is going to be Risky, coach of the Golden State Gold Dogs. One of the long-time coaches, if I do remember correctly.
Oh yeah, he's from season 1, right, Thomas?
Is he for season 1? I can't remember.
Yeah, he won season 1. He won season 1.
Wait, he won season 1.
Division.
Okay, then he definitely is.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, was he the one that won the season with a losing record, or was that someone else?
I don't think it was a losing record. I think he was even. I think he made playoffs.
There was somebody in season 1 who won with a losing record. I can't remember who it was though.
It might have been Risky then, because I thought Risky was 6-6 in playoffs. He might have been.
I'm gonna go check my archive. Hang on.
All right,
You guys
while he
talk
does that-
about
Goats of the WPF, and I am just joining it. So
But see, that's how we get like a fresh mind in this. You're gonna get sucked into the
victims,
whole,
I mean rival
whole-
players.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think I rank this team pretty high. I think the Fairy Steel Dragon Core is really good. I'm not that big on Aegislash, but I feel like on this team it's going to work very well. And then he's got good bulk too, like Vaporeon, and Vaporeon can flip turn and get into other mons. He's got Mesprit he can set some hazards being annoying with, and Serena and Salazzle are also great. I think he's got, other than maybe Monferno, 10 mons that can come every week. So I really like this team. Speed tiers are good too. Volt turn's good. Setup's good. Yeah, it's scary.
I mean, I have basically 4 points on this team that I wrote down. But like I actually think, I mean, the speed tiers I was thinking are a little bit bunched. Like I don't know, Kyurem 95, then to Monfer, then Mesprit 80. Like I don't know, it kind of drops a little bit because not a lot of these mons are gonna be running speed. And it's not the fastest also, and I don't know, but maybe that's just a nitpick. I also think this team kind of relies on like Rock Polish Diancie and DD Kyurem to win games. Like outside of that, I mean, maybe Flagon can DD, you can get a bulk up Brave in there, but yeah, and I do like Wish Pass for Aegislash for that mon. If you want to do much, you want it to tank stuff, but it doesn't really that well if you it kind of drops kind of quickly.
Let it show. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I will say,
Volturn's good.
Yeah, no, it's funny you call it Volt Turn when he doesn't have a Volt Switch user at all.
Let this turn. He's turning and he's going in circles.
Well, he's got a flip turn.
NASCAR race. We're all making left turns.
Yeah, no, Thunder, you were about to say something, I believe.
Yes. So I like how he noticed he only had dual rocker of Mesprit, Mega Diancie. So we got him on Inferno. So now he has a team of dual rocker, Mega Diancie, and Mesprit.
Yes. Hey, Evil Light Monferno about to go in. I can feel it.
That is the thing that's a little weird. I feel like Mesprit's like a suicide lead for a Hyper-O team, and this team's not really Hyper-O. I mean, it's got a couple of good mons, obviously. Kyurem and Mega D, but you want to do some other stuff. Yeah.
Unless the opponent is going to give him free rocks every week, which is totally possible.
I believe T-Bag was the highest on this one, by putting it third. So
I did like the team in general. I think the rockers are a bit weird, but overall, Sub Kyurem is just dumb and gross, and please run that every week because it's dumb and gross. Vaporeon, I started to really fall in love with as a Wisher because Wish Flip Turn is really good.
So good.
Slash is impossible to deal with for some teams. Braviary can get really dumb. Saigon could be a win con. Salazzle can be kind of annoying. Arena is really good. And then Mega Diancie is unwallable. You just don't.
Yeah.
You survive Diancie. You don't beat Diancie.
Yep. You let it
bullet
sub
punch
around
it.
Polish.
You don't have bullet
Good
punch,
night,
you cry. Also,
yeah. Go on.
I believe Vaporeon was kind of expensive. Like it was a 13-point mon, and I feel it's like a bit overpriced. So I
13?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was higher. We moved it up a little bit this year.
but it's still good enough to get drafted, and I don't think it the point detriment really affects the team too much. So it sort of feels like it's got 3 Power Mons, the Fairy Dragon Steel, and then everything else sort of mid tier. So
yeah, I think those 3 Mons are good.
Vaporeon's not passive. It hits like a truck.
Yeah, for sure. I bet he brings those 3 Power Mons every week, and then it's guessing game as to what he needs.
Yeah, like it's those 3 Mons and then flavor of the week for the rest.
And that's a fantastic Fairy Dragon Steel core, which is why I rated it so high. So
I will say the team is a bit ghost weak because your ghost immunity is Braviary and you don't have a dark type. So,
I'm loving these ghost weak teams. Also, I feel like most teams are ghost weak, so it's kind of like a weird knock. I don't know, no one thinks about the ghost types running.
I know. They've gotten so much better. He does do a good job of.
It doesn't help that all the dark types are bad defensively. It's not helpful.
I have an Umbreon.
Yeah, that too.
I know. I can in fact confirm that in season 1, his record at the end of the regular season was 5-6 with a -1 differential, and then he won the league because that's how weird season 1 was.
Let's go.
I mean, the season I won, I also came at 8th in the regular season, and I won.
Yeah, I think one of my championships I was 6 too.
The only time I made finals, I went 5-7, I think, in the regular season, and then I just murdered 2 people in a row. And then, actually, I had to 6-0 my last week, and I 6-0 my last week. That qualified me for playoffs. And then I won the next 2 games, and then I got absolutely smashed by Belly Drum Snorlax.
Yeah, so I think before we go too much into reminiscence about old days, let's move on to Thunderbug in 5th place. So the last of the PI team, I believe. So Thunder, talk a little bit about your own team first.
Right. So Lando has been the king of OU for 3 generations because it's Landorus and it's dumb. Adios is really good support. Lucky does one thing well, which is murder anything that doesn't have a ground type. The ground type dies, it murders everything after that. As we were talking about before the call, Blastoise got massively buffed in general. This entire gen is basically everything I would want. Flareon Weezing's one of the I think the best mid-tier mon in the entire format. Mega Pinsir is still just gross to switch into. And then there's a bunch of random crap, and then there's Chansey, who is the GOAT. Okay. And this is a fine Chansey offense team with massive boomer bust potential. It's either going to go undefeated and win the league, or I might go 3-9. 3-6.
Did you call it Fat Bottom Girl? I into my eyes. I'd like to pick up the Fat Bottom Girl, and you said it's general. It wasn't even your turn to draft.
This is the Queen song. I named my Blissey that a couple of seasons ago too. It's my go-to nickname for Chansey or Blissey.
Yeah, it's
I respect it.
Yeah.
Chansey's like a staple of a lot of my rain teams. I love it. So can confirm it's a GOAT.
It's just so dumb. It just goes, oh, you have a special attacker? Well, not anymore.
Right. And you can just T-Wave stuff, set rocks, teleport out. It's great.
And goofy
and
stuff
if they want a status view or something, you just switch in and then heal yourself on the way out. Yep, thanks.
No, I did the math. Chansey's wishes with no HP investment in the Chansey. The second highest HP in my team is Copper-Raja. If I run max HP Copper-Raja and no HP Chansey and click Wish, heals 72% in Copper-Raja.
Amazing.
Basically heals everything to full just by switching in from a Wish on Chansey. It's just so dumb.
Yeah. It's great. It's a great mon. What can I say?
Now,
I do love the Mega Pinsir effect.
Was there anything we can talk about that's not the Chansey?
The Mega Pinsir. I haven't seen Mega Pinsir taken in I don't know, 5 or 6 seasons.
2 years, 3 years.
Awesome.
Everyone forgot about Pinsir because of the loss of return, which sucked, but double-edged calcs are just hilarious to look at if you start looking at them.
Yeah, they're stupid.
I think it's still good. I think people are just afraid of rocks to begin with.
Yeah.
So, you have 5. I have 5 good hazard removals. I feel like I have Lando, Lottie, Alecki, Blastoise, and Weezing. That's all you need for hazard removal right there.
No, yeah, you'll be fine, I think. I mean, you did a great job Blastoise week 1, so.
Yeah. All right. So you guys put this team at 2nd and 4th. I don't remember who did what, but I put this team at 13th. So I am going to. So I'm going to try to defend this take
because I will remember.
It's probably undefendable. Well, so my notes aren't even long for this. But I was like, oh yeah, Mega Pinsir Lendo T. That's pretty good. But it's a kind of a fat ice weakness without 3 Pokemon. It's like, well, I guess that's not really a good point. Blastoise and like Blastoise, Cockroach, and Magmortar. Magmortar, I guess, is a Mon. It can, I don't know. The other two are actually like threats. And then like I do like Latias. It's a special breaker with support, but I don't know. I thought the team was like kind of underwhelming, and in my mind, I just don't think like I love Lando T, big Lando T fan, but I don't think like this team has like that much to help it out other than like Pinsir can punch stuff. Latias is the great support, and then like Regieleki seems like a niche mon, like maybe it can do well, and you always have the threat of Shell Smash twice, but like I don't know, I just don't think like I feel like it's sort of like limited in what it can do, but maybe that's just, maybe I'm just juiced, so
Okay,
it is kind of boomer bust. It's either going to go really well or really poorly.
Also, I will add something to volume to justify the 13th place. So I'm pretty sure Thunderbug, you were the one that said that flying type is going to kill my team. What is it going to do to your team?
It's going to just simply dot Regieleki. What do you mean?
Oh, yes. Okay, yeah. Regieleki is just going to switch in every time.
It's AB Hopper not going to eat the Focus Blast.
Regieleki, it can run max HP and still outspeed the flying type.
I mean, yeah, but it's still like you are a little bit flying weak the same way I am, so you know we'll have a.
But at the same time, the Hurricanes, Chansey laughs at those, and then the physical ones will have to just get killed by Landorus.
Well, conveniently, you have a physical one right here, so it's already off the board for you.
Yeah, no, we did talk about how Staraptor was picked up, so you know that's gonna be a fun week probably.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'll run that over. I'll run that one right over.
That's Staraptor. It's only 100 speed. You know what Regieleki has? Double that speed. So
I'm risking right now. Like I said, I'm pretty sure I can run max HP and still outspeed Staraptor.
I mean,
probably maybe test it out.
The
fact Luigi has Staraptor, and I don't actually think you play him. So you're chilling.
Damn, dodge the bullet there. Yeah, no, Thunder. This is a really good team. It's a Regieleki team, which, you know, Regieleki is, as you mentioned, is boomer bust. Sometimes it could do insane. Sometimes it does absolutely nothing. So it's gonna be interesting to see you try and pull it off.
I feel like why I put it so high is because it's another team where like any mon on the team can come every week. I love teams like that. Like you don't know what's coming.
I agree.
I will say, on paper, your speed tiers look great, but like if you think about it, are you really bringing a Lowland Persian or Reggie every week? And Mega Pinsir can't run an item, so Scarf Lando maybe, and then it's kind of dropping off. That's probably the only knock I would have.
Oh, I remember my point that I was thinking.
What was?
Oh, sorry, I don't want to interrupt. Sorry, I interrupted anyway. Anyway, so no, it's mid. It's like, all right, you have like Landers, Latias, and everything else is like a mid-tier mon. Sure, it could come sure, you can bring a whole bunch of different middle-tier mons, but they're never going to be great. I don't know. That's my big point.
I did the math. I only need to be timid and have 52 EVs and outspeed Scarfstar.
Savage. How much damage you did to it after you outspeed him? Can you kill him?
Yeah, no, it kills Staraptor every time. What? There's no discussion there.
Staraptor and Regieleki, Transistor is just actually stupid.
Yeah,
that's insane.
It does 141% in with Thunderbolt.
Yeah. But I guess we can move on from Thunderbug to our 4th place, Hallex, coach of the... I don't even know what that says. Zapdos, I believe the team name is.
Zapdos, yep.
Yeah, Zapdos. Okay, I believe Thunderbug, you played him week 1, so you want to talk a little bit about the team?
So yeah, this is the team other than mine I spent the most time looking at because I played it week 1. And then, so as you can probably see, there's this nice big red box above the flying part. Yeah, that was fun. So let's see here. Clown is really good.
Did he bring any of those mons though? He brought Serp week 1. Was that it? Did he bring Scrafty?
Oh, he didn't.
I don't think so.
You didn't watch the game at all. He didn't bring Serp at all. He brought Scissor. He brought Nihilego. He brought Heliolisk. Then Pinsir took 71% in turn 1 and didn't do anything.
Yeah, but that's not what we're here for. We're here to discuss the team in a PR.
So the team overall is really good. I like the team a lot. I literally like Mudsdale. I really like Scrafty. Dottler can do things. Heliolisk is cool. Nihilego is cool. Mence is still really good. People forget about. I'm mixed on Superior. I don't know if I like it or I hate it. And Finny Scissor is really good as a combo, and it's really dangerous because it means you can't just Scald Burn Scissor and it can SD in your face to +6 and sweep your entire team if you're not
Finny
careful.
Scissor is one of the best cores like in the game. So this is my opinion.
I will say I'm a little concerned though that his hazard setting is either Nihilego or Mudsdale. It's a little iffy to me.
I want to say this before someone steals it from me, but he has 5 Mons from 100 to 115. It's like, that's kind of a bunch. That's kind of a lot of things in the same speed tier. So
I don't.
It's not like his speed tiers are bad in general though.
That's true. Like outside of that,
Pretty
it's
good,
kind of
yeah.
fun.
They're really. It's probably the best speed tiers we've seen.
It probably is, yeah. 'Cause, I mean, unless he plays like a Latios or something, I mean, he's okay, I think. And even
Yeah, I mean,
if he does,
I guess the one thing
annoying.
the one thing you can talk a little bit about is how he caps at 113, but he has decent choice caps options in like Nihilego, Blacephalon, I guess
He's got forward with
Scarfini.
Scissor,
Scarfini is like
He
decent.
can Dragon Dance. Yeah, I think he's okay.
Yeah.
We'll say
I
go ahead. Sorry.
I was gonna say Blast and Nihilego feel like a little bit repetitive to me. Like I guess Blast can break more than Nihilego, but I don't know. They're both Ultra Beasts like are around the same speed tier. I don't know.
He does have a lot
I mean,
of
they're just
stuff.
different
They do
types.
different
Factors, doesn't
They
he?
do different things.
Not-
Clown's a breaker or sweeper. Nihilego is kind of there for hazards and maybe sweeping with Scar for late game in certain matchups. I do think, to me though, the one major knock I have on this team is it really lacks immediate power outside of Clown. Their Pierre needs to be set up with Lee Storm to do real damage. Healerless does no damage. Nihilego needs to get the boost going to do anything or Meteor Beam. Mance wants the DD. Finny's really passive outside of occasional specs or setup. Scissor, of course, relying on Bullet Punch, which is strong, but sometimes it wants to run bulk. It's not as strong as you want it to be. So you kind of really struggle to put out immediate power.
Choice Bandments. Let's go. But yeah, I was thinking. I feel like I thought it's like Blacephalon and I guess Ments maybe is breaking. Like I don't know, but I do really love this team because I think like I love Scissor Finny. So
I mean, that's a good thing and a bad thing, I think. Yeah, they need to set up the break, but how do you prep against this team? You're thinking like, okay, what's gonna try to clean me? You know what I mean? What's he gonna try to set up to beat me with? And you got like 7 options you got to prep for.
The BP Scissor, Scarf Blacephalon.
That was one thing I was hard in prep. That was definitely one thing I found hard in prep was figuring out, okay, how do I cover the multiple setup options he's got? Because he's got really good setup.
Yeah.
It's not like you're saying, okay, well, he could shell smash this Caracosta, so I have to be scared about that. It's like, no, you're preparing for real things.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
like all of the setups options
First
are
6 months
actual
are all
threats.
like setup. So
It's a lot like my team. I have a lot of setup as well. I guess we can move on to third because
Final
we are going a little long here, so now I'm gonna move it on.
whoopsies.
So this team here, I don't know if I want
That's
Thunderbug to go first or I want him to go
Thunderbug
last.
has to He has to
Like
go
last, right? Last, I'm
He has
thinking
to go
last. So Pierre, why don't you
Get
start
your
us off with
popcorn.
this team?
Everyone get your beer, get your popcorn. Me and T-Bug and Thomas are gonna talk for a minute and then fireworks.
No.
Okay.
I want you to start off, Pierre. I want you to start.
So, yeah. So, I thought this team was pretty good. I mean, again, I think he maybe overpaid a little bit, but dude, Mega Gallade, Celesteela, Garchomp, like, come on. Like, 3 incredible Mons, and then he's got Primarina, Raikou, Moltres to round it off. He's probably never bringing the bottom 3 Mons, unfortunately, but those top 6 are incredible. Great speed tiers, going to be tough to break. They cover each other so well, in my opinion. He's not going to be able to get hazards up, which is a little bit of a knock. But no, I think just solid team.
Yeah, I agree with that. Like, his like Swords Dance, Skellig, like Swords Dance Chomp, those are terrifying threats to deal with, and then like Conmine Raikou. And I feel like this team can just punch holes too with Garchomp and Skellig if it wants to, and it has like good defensive options too. Like Moltres is a great pivot. Celesteela is like a great like utility mon generally, and it can like sweep teams if it gets the right setup. It's not hard to prep for. And then Primarina, I'm like a little bit more unfamiliar with, but it's definitely like it could be like offensive defenses. So it's like even among this, even though it's basically a 6-mon team, like you're not exactly sure what's gonna come, and that is a little bit annoying to prep for because I play this team week 1.
I will quickly say I do think y'all are underrating Tangela a little bit. That thing is actually kind of good.
Oh,
Like, it's
great.
pretty-
Pingleing's kind of janky, yeah.
It's
I was
a
afraid
good
of it.
round.
I thought it was gonna come. I was like, please don't. Stop Zamazanta.
I will say, like, its setup is great, but it does lack a little bit of recovery. He might get worn down.
Yeah.
Yeah. That could definitely be a thing. But when we tried here to defend the team a little bit, let's let Thunderbug speak real quick.
So, spoiler alert, I did not put this team third place. I put it quite the opposite of third place.
Wait, what spot you put it in again?
I put it 15th.
Yikes.
So,
All right, tell us why.
we'll start with the positives. Mega Gallade, Celesteela, Garchomp is really good on paper. I really like Primarina, Raikou, Moltres as Mons. Skunkin could be fun. Porygon could be kind of a fun meme to do. And Tangela is actually, I agree with Thomas, is better than you guys gave it credit for. So, now we'll move on to everything else about this team. The Hazard Setter, again, that's Hazard Setter, not Stealth Rocker, not Spiker. Hazard Setter is Garchomp. The removal is the, and to quote Pierre, not bringable Skuntank, and then Moltres.
Skuntank came week 1, so you know it's.
No, I'm quoting here. We said that bottom 3 were not coming, which I disagree with in general, but because you have to bring the Skuntank, so we have that. Again, since the only rocker is Garchomp, you severely cripple the SD set because now you can't run a coverage move, or you're not running Scale Shot, which is the entire point of why Garchomp is 26 bloody points, because the Scale Shot set is just ridiculous to deal with. And so either now you're not running rocks, so you can't exacerbate the damage of Gallade and Chomp, or you're running rocks and probably Tank Chomp, which means you're paying 26 points for basically a really good rocker, but you don't want to pay 26 points for a rocker. 24 points, so much better. That's much better.
It's 2 points cheaper, you know.
No, it's 23.
You gotta get it right.
No, it's 23 with. It's 23 because Garchomp and Tornadus was both 23.
Excuse me, 23. I misspoke. Okay. Oh Lord Jesus.
I know, but just making sure.
You're and you're also.
No, they're both 24. You're lying, dude. They're both 24. Anyway.
But was it 24? Damn. Okay, no, never mind. Tam a new one, Thunderbug.
No. Garchomp is, of course, big thing is an ice weakness, as we all know, correct?
Yes.
Now, point out to me what this team's ice resist is.
Primarina.
It's Steel type and it's Flyer type do not resist ice. And so, how much recovery does Celesteela have?
Yeah, but it's neutral. And Gallade resists too, doesn't he?
No, it does not resist ice.
No, fighting doesn't resist ice.
The Primarina. Wow. So now your Primarina needs to run bulky sets in order to not just lose to any things spamming Ice Beam at you. Now you have Tank. Now you've ruined your Primarina. You've ruined your Garchomp. Celesteela, if it misses Leech Seed or gets worn down quickly in general, it has no sustain. And by the way, since your Garchomp's probably going to be tanky now, your offense is going to be heavily reliant on Gallade breaking everything. If you run the spikes or toxic, heaven forbid, toxic spikes, you're forced to bring Skuntank, or you're running Defog Moltres, which means you now can't run U-turn, or you're dropping your coverage moves, which means Moltres is less powerful, or it can't do momentum. Raikou doesn't really get to do setup. Tangela and Porygon are sustain, and they both are extremely weak to knockoff, which the entire team is, by the way, because again, your removal is bad. So losing Boots on Moltres, or your Life Orb or whatever on Chomp, losing Lefty Steela, losing Lefties or choice items in Primarina, you don't switch to knockoff, you don't switch in ice moves, you don't switch into anything. The hazard game is terrible. The speed tiers get goofy. It basically goes from Garchomp to Moltres to Skuntank, which is not good. I don't understand why anyone likes this team. It looks really good at the top 3, but then it just falls apart and it has to deal with anything that lasts more than 5 turns. And you look at it for more than 5 minutes.
Brilliant. I loved every minute of that.
But yeah,
Also, Azrain, I want to quickly say this before Thunder says anything more. We don't mean any harm about this. It's just a PR. If you want to tear Thunderbug a new one, you can do that as well.
I like most of the monsters team. I just don't like them together. I feel like it's just missing certain things that make them all work together. Like, I love Moltres. I'm a big advocate for Raikou. I love Prim. Garchomp is one of the best mons in the format when it's not 23 or 24 points or whatever it is. Mega Gallade is probably the best Mega in the format. Celesteela can just do some dumb things. I just don't think anyone in this team is supported properly.
Come on, you gotta hype him up a little bit, dude. To be fair, it's his 3rd pick and Garchomp's still on the board. How's he not gonna pick it?
That's true.
He said fuck his points and he just went for it, you know?
I just don't think the rest of the team took advantage of that round 3 Garchomp as well as they needed to. I think it severely needs a second rocker desperately, maybe in some other hazard setter. I think it needs another remover, and I think it needs something else that can do some special breaking other than relying on Prim or the Moltres, which as you already discussed is going to be reliant on doing things like boots most of the time anyways. And basically you can't run the special Celesteela setup sets because it needs to be your switch to everything. It makes Celesteela get worn down really quick. Again, if Celesteela has to switch into everything, it doesn't recover outside Leech Seed left over to protect. So if it misses Leech Seed or just gets hit really hard by some random coverage, it just falls apart really fast.
Yeah, and, if you could deal with like some webs or some para spam to slow stuff down would really help them.
Yeah, so I'm gonna stop us here. Azrin, it's a good team, but as Thunderbug mentioned, it doesn't work cohesively as it should be. So in second, we have Noir, coach of the, I believe it's Kinky Katanas. I do believe the name is. And this is the aforementioned Zygarde, Megapidgeot, wow, there's an Urshifu as well. Okay, let's talk a little bit about this team. Thunderbug, you want to start this time around?
I love this team. I love it a lot. It is wonderful. The only real criticism I have is that Glalie is not a Mon, and that the only rockers are Uxie and Heatran. Zygarde is really dumb. Urshifu is broken. And Heatran and Rotom is an amazing pairing that can do all sorts of malcontent things. And then, as we discussed before, Flying Resist don't exist in general. And Mega Pidgeot can just go crazy on people. It's pretty simple. It's straightforward and simple. It's really good. It's got a lot of really dumb Mons. And it's going to be really fun to use, I think, too.
This was my #1 team, so I like this team the best out of all of them. Like, Urshifu gameplay. Let's go. It's gonna murder things. Uxie and Rotom Wash are like great pivots that can help this team out a lot. And like you also have the Mega Pidgeot to help break. You have a physical breaker in Shifu, and then your Mega Pidgeot special breaks, and then Zygarde cleans up with DD or another set. And I think the rest of this team has great pivots that work well with it. And you even have web support from Rabambi. So I think it's a fantastic team.
The thing I love about it is the Heatran. Like, he protects Heatran so well with Rotom, Uxie, Rabambi, Mega Pidgeot, and Delmise. Like, you can't kill the Heatran.
Yeah. Yeah, because even when you do try and make the prediction of something swapping in on the Heatran, you still also have to think out which one is it that swaps in. Like, you have to really think about it, really try and work around the Heatrans. It just becomes unkillable at that point.
Exactly.
Also, the funniest part is when you think you're going to be able to predict the Heatran, and then it pulls out Scarf Eruption and just insta-kills whatever you had in front of
exactly. Like, this team is very well put together. I would say the one weakness is maybe the fairy typing being Rabambi. Like, Rabambi is a decent Mon, but as your only fairy typing, it is a little bit on the weak side, I would say.
Yeah, he does kind of have an awkward matchup against the Dragon Ground types, but he's got one of them, which helps.
Yeah, exactly. And I think actually Flygon was also drafted, so there are multiple.
Yeah. And then just any dragon kind of as Earthquake can be a little scary, but there's things he can work around. He's got enough.
Yeah, no, you can work around it definitely, but it was just one thing I noticed. Like, I feel like Rabambi as the only fairy is a little on the weak side.
Yeah, and that's kind of his speed too, I feel like, because other than Urshifu to Mega Pidgeot, there's a huge gap. He needs something fast, right? So I think he just picked up Rabambi, which I think's okay.
Yeah. Actually, talking about speed, he does have a gap from Pidgeot down to Urshifu, which is that's pretty substantial gap, actually.
And that's kind of bunched. He has a lot of 95, 97 on, so...
If there's one recommendation I'll make on this team is if maybe he combines Muck and Glalie into like Whirlipede just to have a better spiker. It serves the same purpose. Muck is different, but still, it makes him. It's just the Glalie just stands out because it's something you'll never bring on this team. Other than just to prove us wrong, you'll never bring Glalie, honestly.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's there. I mean, a lot of teams have a Mon that is there. So,
Glalie is there to scare off the opposing Dragon Ground types. That's why. Yes.
Yeah.
There we go. Well, it's massive, man.
But yeah, Noah, this is an insanely good team. I know this is gonna be a difficult matchup if we play. I don't remember if you do. But
I play this team. Zygarde's gonna have a fun time.
Rest in peace.
And that leads us to the last team. The #1 team is gonna be Luigi. I don't know how to pronounce this. Okay, Luigi, coach of the Miami Delphox. So this is a Cure Black with no speed boost, but it got the first place because the speed is in the Deoxys. Who wants to take this off?
I'll go last because I had a very different opinion of this team than everyone else.
Yeah,
Then volume, why don't you
yeah,
start?
this is my number 3 team, I believe. Holix was my number 2, and Noir was number 1. I mean, Kieran Black it's back. It's gonna do stuff. I think the speed tiers. This is my favorite speed tiers out of all the teams. I really love the speed tiers for this. But maybe and then I thought the good breakers, like Kieran Black, incredible breaker. Staraptor, incredible breaker. Deoxys speed is gonna be able to clean up. Greninja can utility and also clean up if you at the end of the game. Is pretty good speed options. And what is it? And I mean, it's like it's only 9 mons, but yeah, I think it will be able to clean up teams and it will break teams, and it has enough set up to like get the mons to do what they want. So
I think he found like the value in the draft. I mean, outside of Kieran Black, I think we can all agree like Dio Speed, Staraptor, Grand, Whimsicott, and Empoleon and Mega Heracross were all like really good values for their points, and I think they all go together like incredibly well. To your point, speed tiers are great. I think he's got great balance type-wise across the board. The Levitate for Rotom is great for Empoleon. I mean, he covers his mons well. You can't really hit a lot of them. You got to guess on what switch in is coming in. And I think he leads with Dio Speed. It's got so much utility to just like, taunt, set hazards, do whatever. And then he can pivot or hit you hard with Gren and Staraptor on physical and special side. And they've got Rotom to pivot as well.
I forgot about Heracross, but like Heracross also punted holes. Like that's what I was getting to. So like, sorry to cut you off.
And then you got Rotom, Staraptor, Gren to like kind of pivot and hit around. And then Mega Heracross or Kieran Black come in at the end to clean.
Yeah.
And then Wim as well. I mean, you can't set up on him. He'll taunt you, encore you. Yeah, I think it's just a really good team overall. I think I rank this one number 1 as well.
Yeah.
So Thunderbug, what do you think of the team?
So I put it 14th.
Ooh, right.
Yeah, so there's a lot of stuff I really like. I'm a big Palestine advocate. I like Hera. Gren's obviously good, and there is a lot of value he picked here. My main issues are, I feel like Kyurem teams need a lot more speed control than what he has to offer. It's basically like Tailwind, Whimsicott, and then some T-Wave shenanigans with like Rotom. And he's got really good breakers in Cross, Raptor, and Kyurem. Problem is those are also pretty much exclusively physical breaking. So he relies heavily on
Greninja.
Greninja is a special breaker, but he also picked up Greninja because it got dropped immediately, and he dropped Rabbit for Heracross, which would have also helped his speed a little bit better to have Rabbit, I think. And then he kind of just picked up Cross because he felt like he needed the fighting type. That's cool. I don't know if I was the one to pick as a replacement for Gren. Maybe okay, but I get he wanted Gren, but I don't know if it was necessarily. I don't know. It's just there's certain things about the team I just didn't like as much. This one I'm not gonna fight as much as I will about like Hazarding's team because I think I kind of just underrated it a lot in the original rankings I did last week. It's good. It just has things that I think it just needs more of. I feel like if it's not running specs Gren, it's gonna really struggle to break specially. I feel like that it could be kind of weird sometimes to try to fit Kyurem, Raptor, and Cross in the teams. I feel like it can sometimes struggle some hazards. It's going to just have some weird filling some spots in on teams, I think. I'm just being nitpicky, I think, on this one, honestly.
For sure, yeah. And I think to your point, I don't think he brings Cross and Kieran Black the same game. I think he can pick and choose what he thinks is going to, be the best mon.
Almost
color of the week.
Like saying he could do something like dropping like Heracross and Whimsicott and get like Slurpuff and Mega Venu or something like that if the points work out. I think that would make the team. I don't know if it would necessarily help a special problem, but it can give him a webs option. It gives him an alternative setup sweeper with Puff, and then Venu would just be annoying for people to kill against this team because it's just fat.
Yeah, I agree with that, but I think it would make him slower, not hit as hard. I like what he's got in Wim and Mega Hera. I love that both those ones. They're great.
it's one of those teams where I just don't know how to suggest, but there's just something about that just to me personally feels lacking. But that's just me in general. Because again, overall these are power rankings. These are how people feel. Everyone's got different play styles. You take a stall player and give them bird spam from Gen 6, they're gonna think it's the worst team in the world. Meanwhile, you take some bird spam player and you give them generic GSC stall team, they're gonna think you're insane. That's the beauty of Mons. There's different ways to play it, and everyone's got different views of it. As you can see from the rankings, I think things are higher than some people do, and people think they're higher than I do. That's the whole thing in the rankings that makes it beautiful.
That's a really solid take. Yeah, this is all opinions, guys.
And I think with that note, we can go into the last one where we have the entire fully rank here, so we can see who's where. But this has been very fun. As Thunderbug just mentioned, this is a power ranking. Don't take it too seriously. If you are last, whatever, show us we're wrong. If you're first, go on, do the best you can do. So just have fun with it. Like, that's the most important thing. Have fun with it this season.
Win games to spite us.
That's right. Prove us wrong.
Lose games to spite us.
Luigi, I need you winning more. Cough, cough. Nudge, nudge.
But yeah, I think I'm just gonna round it out here because the video is already pretty long. As always, if you like the video, make sure to leave a like on the video, leave a comment down below what you thought of the video, and you know what? Join the WPF Discord if you're not in it. I will try and remember to link it down in the description. And we are out. So peace, YouTube.